How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. Boys, it's something nice to drop in again today. Thanks very much. You know, the Massey Motel, she's all finished, eh? But it needs to have a door. So that's what we're up to today. We're going to try and make a door for it. Now, I had lots of ideas for doors. You know, ones that fold up, ones that roll up, you know, mechanical doors, you know, and they're all nice. I'd love to have any of those options, but they all cost money. So what I'm going to do is, on the old tent temporary shelter that I had, when the skin on it got rotten from the UV rays, I had bought a heavy-duty tarp to put over top of it as a temporary roof for the temporary shelter. Well, the sun kind of got at that tarp too and kind of ruined it. It was a two-tone one. It had brown on one side, silver on the other, and the UV kind of destroyed the brown side of it. But I think I'm going to be able to reuse that tarp, but use the silver side of it, and I'm going to make a tarp door out of that. So let's go see how we make out with that. So I have the tarp laid out here to try to cut it, and I've never cut tarp like this before. I'd like to have a nice big spot to lay it all out, but I don't. I could take it outside, but it's blowing a gale out there today and that wouldn't work. But I just want to show you what I got set up here. This is the tarp I was talking about. It's silver on this side and it's brown on the other side, and you can see this where the sun, UV and whatnot has had its way with it down here on the brown side. But anyway, we're going to put the silver side out and hopefully that'll work. I also taken some of the framework from the old temporary shelter, connected them all together to make a long bar, and then rolled the tarp up on the bar and set it on my jack stands there just to sort of try to manage the tarp so it'd make it easy to, you know, to get to it. But what I want to do is I want to start at this side and go this way for about 9.5 feet or so and cut it off. So we're going to just see how well this works on my bench. I don't know. It might be a disaster. Let's try it. So with the tarp laid out here, from that edge to the edge of the bench is about 30 inches. And I'm figuring I need to go a little bit less than 10 feet because the tarp is not fully 20 feet wide. If you ever notice when you buy tarps, they say cut 20 feet, but then they fold edges on it. So it's about 19 and a half feet long, 19 feet, 10 inches, something like that. I'm going to, because this is 30, I figure if I hold it tight there and make a fold that way, you know, it might work. Might not too. But anyways, let's try it. See how my roller's going to work here. I thought that was a pretty brainiac idea. I had rolling the tarp up like that. Let's see how it works. Alright, we'll just clamp that right there for now. Clamp that there. Alright. I got it kind of halfway laid out here, I think. But anyway, there's 1, 2, 3 layers there, so 3 times 30, that's 90. 9.5 feet would be 114. If I come out another 2 feet, that should be near the middle of the tarp. So what I need to do is fold it from here 2 feet back that way and then cut it off. I'm going to try it this way. Alright, 2 feet from this edge. And you know, this doesn't have to be exactly in the center of the tarp, but the reason I'm spending extra time here to try to get it straight is because I want to cut it straight. I think cutting it straight is kind of important. 2 feet. 2 feet. So I got a piece of plywood. I'm going to slide this in here as a backer. Now I realize cutting this is, I'm going to leave an edge that can possibly fray, and I've got concerns about that. I'm worried about that too. I'm not sure how that will work out. Yeah, I've got lots of question marks about the job. I wish I knew if this is a good way to do it, but I don't. Black on brown doesn't show up very good. I'm cutting. Too late to turn back now. And I hope this works. Be a sin to waste a big tarp, wouldn't it? gotta work. Oh no! I just went off the end of my stick and cut through my tarp. Well, I'll be damned. I think it's a major fail. All right, aside from this major catastrophe right here, oh man, I cut right, oh. This tarp here, the one that was still on the roll, should work. But I'm going to put that piece aside and I'm going to work on this piece just to see if we can make a tarp door and try it, see how it works out. But that, oh man, every time I look at that I get cross. Cut right through every layer. Boy, when I screw up pretty good, don't I? Oh well, let's just look past that for now. So this piece is 10 feet. This is going to be the height of the door. So what I'd like to do now is cut an 8-foot cut out of this. But I want it more than 8 feet because I want it to go inside the door. So I'd like it to be 6 inches on each side. So I'm going to cut 9 feet off of this. I wonder if I can cut that out. Wouldn't that be a blessing? 9 feet. It's 9 feet. Oh well. Having a little rip maybe on the side of the tarp wouldn't be so bad. I'm going to cut this at 9 feet. So what I'd like to do with this tarp is put a piece of string along the edge. You know, like the tarps all have little pieces of string along the edges of them. It just adds a little bit of stability. Nothing more. Rather than just have that, there's a wrinkly edge. I'd like to put a piece of string in it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have some just paracord here. I think it's 5/16 paracord. And that's what I'm going to use. When I cut it, I melted the ends so that it wouldn't fray. And when I did some research to find out how to glue poly tarps, basically they said, good luck, there's really nothing. But I'm going to try to crack that myth, and I'm going to use just plain ordinary silicone, white silicone. Silicone sticks to most everything. This doesn't need to be a strong seal, just needs to stick together for a little bit, right? Remember I put these slashes in here when I was cutting it? Oh man, that still makes me cross. But anyway, I put a line down here where I want my string to go, and then I'm going to fold this over on the string. So guess what? That's going to cover up that slash. So hey, I've measured in here 2 inches, so I want my string to go down this black line. Then I'm going to fold that over, and then I'm going to clamp that down there while it dries, okay? So that's the plan. I'm going to start here and put a little bead of silicone here. Alright, so there's one bead down that side. Now just put another bead just close to where the string line is going to go. Now I don't mean to suggest that this is a good way to glue tarps together. Don't misunderstand what I'm doing here. This is just me trying it, right? So I'm going to put this string in there and clamp it so that it doesn't pull out. And then I'll do the same on this far end. I also cleaned this tarp good with acetone, just because, you know, tarps tend to be waxy and kind of waterproofy, so I thought maybe the acetone might help. So let's see how we make out here. So we're just going to just carefully try to fold this up as best we can. Of course, you got to get the caulk everywhere. That just goes without saying, right? Alright. So we got it all folded over anyways. Now what I want to do is I'm going to clamp it. So what I have is a piece of 2x4 that's 10 feet long. Alright, clamp that there. And we'll clamp that right there. Now this is, to me this is all experimental, right? This may be the craziest, biggest mistake I ever made. But it might work. Trying to pull the tarp in so that just the string edge is sticking out. What do you think? So how about right now you do me a favor. You go down in the comments and comment right now before the video goes any further if you think this is going to work. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop now and come back a couple hours later, take these clamps off and see how we made out. So kind of a little interesting game here, right? So comment if you think this is going to work, and when I come back I'll let you know, or I'll show you the results. So I clamped this up, it was 11 o'clock this morning and it's now 2:30. So what's that, 3.5 hours? Let's take the clamps off and see what kind of a mess we got. You know, I don't think it is going to work. I don't think the silicone is going to glue this tarp together. So I also have a plan to put duct tape along that seam. Alright, the big reveal here. Well, you can peel it back, you know, but it's not too bad, really. But I don't think it's a good glue. So if you're thinking of doing this with a piece of tarp, silicone caulk is not the best solution. But you get some duct tape. This is tuck tape, T-U-C-K, duct tape. And the glue that's on it, I don't know what kind of glue it is, but man, oh man, it sticks. So let's put some of this on here. Whoops. Oh no, I ran out. All right, luckily I have another roll. Okay, let's continue. Oh, here's one thing I don't like about duct tape. When you lose the edge, sometimes it can be a real bear to get it back. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to take this tarp, turn it around to get access to the top of it, because I want to put a little nailer strip up there. I have this piece here already cut. It's just a piece of, I think it's hemlock. It's 1 inch wide and about 3/8 of an inch thick. And we're going to put that on the top, roll the tarp over it as to hold the tarp at the top. So that's what we'll do. We'll flip this around now. And hope this seam doesn't come apart. So I want to get access to this top here. It seems the hardest thing about working with this is it's so big and dangly. It's hard to keep it under control. That doesn't look too bad. Now, I want the silver side out, right? So I think what I need to do is I need to wrap it. If I staple it on there and then put another turn on it, that would work. Why don't I do that? That might be good. This is the inside. This is where the door opening starts at this mark. So that means this red tape and everything will be hidden behind the jamb on the door. And this brown seam over here will be hidden behind the jamb on the door. Maybe. Okay, now assuming that I cut everything square, if I line this nailer strip with the edge of the tarp, it should hang straight. So that's what we're going to try, and I'm just going to secure it with staples. But then when I attach it in the shelter, I'll put screws through that, of course, right? So, good, the staples don't go through. So I'm going to start with 3 staples on the end there, and then I'm going to put a staple on, maybe 6 inches or so. Now I'm just going to get my hammer and make sure that those are all down good and secure. Alright, and then what I want to do is put a fold in it like this, as tight as I can get it. And I'll put a few more staples in on this side too. I like to get it as tight as I could on this wrap. All right, and the tack goes in. I'm going to put one more wrap on it just because I live in the woods. Okay, now when I take that out to the enclosure, I'll put a screw through here to hold it to the header above the door, right? And then that'll hang down. This will be on the outside, this will be on the inside. Well, I got the door made, I think, and aside from putting that big ugly slash in the edge of it there, oh man. But I was lucky, you know, because when I cut it off, I was able to cut it the right width. I was able to fold the seam over and almost eliminate that nasty cut that I put in it. Anyways, and also, please in the comments let me know what you thought of the silicone seal for putting the edge, gluing the edge together, if you thought that was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work, but anyway, it worked out not too bad, I think. I don't know how it'll stand up, but we'll see. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up me. Tune in next episode when we install this door, just see if it'll work or not after all my effort to cut it to size. Have a great week, folks. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you.